Hello and welcome to this English learning session. Have you ever wondered why people say someone is as sly as a fox and what it really means in everyday English communication? Today we are going to explore one of the most interesting and commonly used English expressions, as sly as a fox. This is not just a group of words. It is a vivid idiom that paints a clear picture in the mind of the listener. It helps speakers describe a person who is clever, tricky, and very good at achieving what they want, often in a smart but slightly secretive way. Before we go deeper, let us understand that idioms like this are very important in spoken English. They make your language sound natural, fluent, and expressive. Instead of saying someone is very clever in a simple way, English speakers often prefer colorful expressions like this to make their speech more powerful and engaging. So what does as sly as a fox really mean? It describes a person who is very smart in a tricky way. This person is not openly honest about their plans all the time. Instead, they use intelligence, observation, and careful thinking to get what they want. The word sly suggests secret cleverness, while fox represents an animal known in stories and cultures for being intelligent, quick, and difficult to catch. In many cultures, the fox is seen as a symbol of cleverness. In fables and stories, the fox often outsmarts other animals using strategy rather than strength. That is why this comparison became popular in English language. Now let us break this idiom into two important words and understand them deeply for better learning. The two key words are sly and fox. Understanding these words will help you fully understand the idiom and also use them correctly in your own sentences. Let us begin with the word sly. The word sly is an adjective. It is used to describe someone who behaves in a clever but secretive or tricky way. A sly person is not always dishonest, but they are usually very strategic. They think carefully before acting and often hide the true intentions. Sometimes sly can be used in a negative sense when someone is being deceitful, but it can also be playful or harmless depending on context. In daily conversation, sly is used to describe actions, expressions, smiles, tricks, or behaviors that show hidden intelligence or secret planning. For example, a sly smile is a smile that shows someone knows something others do not know. It gives a feeling of hidden information or quiet confidence. The word sly can also describe behavior in competitive situations where someone wins or succeeds using clever strategies instead of direct effort. Now let us understand sly more clearly through 5 simple and natural examples that you can use in real-life communication. First example of sly. He gave a sly smile when he heard the secret plan. Second example of sly. She made a sly move in the game and surprised everyone. Third example of sly. The boy was sly enough to finish his homework without anyone noticing. Fourth example of sly. The manager noticed his sly attempt to avoid extra work. Fifth example of sly. Her sly answer made the teacher curious about what she was hiding. Now let us reflect on these examples. In each sentence, sly shows hidden intelligence or secret behavior. It does not always mean something bad. Sometimes it simply means smart thinking that is not immediately obvious to others. This is why understanding tone and context is very important when using the word sly. Now we move to the second important word in our idiom, fox. The word fox is a noun. In literal meaning, it refers to a wild animal known for its sharp senses, quick movements, and ability to survive in different environments. Foxes are small to medium-sized animals that are often active at night. They are known for being alert, fast, and very intelligent in behavior. Because of these qualities, the fox has become a symbol of cleverness in many languages and cultures. In English expressions, calling someone a fox usually means they are clever, smart, and able to handle situations with intelligence. In some contexts, fox can also be used to describe a person who is attractive in a sharp or striking way, but in our idiom as sly as a fox, the focus is mainly on intelligence and trickiness rather than appearance. Now let us understand the word fox through 5 clear examples that show its different uses in sentences. First example of fox. The fox escaped from the forest trap using its sharp instincts. Second example of fox. He is a clever fox in business negotiations. Third example of fox. The fox quickly found a safe place to hide from danger. Fourth example of fox. Everyone in the team called her a fox because she always found smart solutions. Fifth example of fox. The fox moved silently through the night without being seen. Now when we combine both words sly and fox, we get the full idiom as sly as a fox. This expression is often used in storytelling, conversations, exams, and even motivational speech when describing someone who is intelligent in a strategic way. For example, if someone solves a problem in a very clever but unexpected way, you might say they are as sly as a fox. It highlights not just intelligence, but also creativity and quick thinking. Let us now understand how this idiom is used in real-life situations. Imagine a student who finds a smart way to complete a difficult assignment without breaking any rules. A teacher might say that the student is as sly as a fox. Or imagine a businessman who successfully negotiates a deal by carefully planning every step. People might describe him in the same way. This idiom is very useful because it adds color and emotion to your English speaking. Instead of saying someone is just smart, you are showing that their intelligence is clever, slightly secretive, and very effective. It is also important to understand that tone matters. Calling someone as sly as a fox can sometimes be a compliment and sometimes a gentle criticism depending on situation. If used positively, it means clever and intelligent. If used negatively, it can suggest trickery or manipulation. So always be careful when using it. Now let us expand our understanding with a deeper explanation of how such idioms improve your English fluency. When you learn idioms like this, you are not just learning vocabulary. You are learning how native speakers think and express ideas. English is full of comparisons and metaphors because they make communication more lively. Saying someone is as sly as a fox immediately creates an image in the listener's mind. That is the power of idiomatic language. If you want to speak English fluently, you should not only focus on grammar rules but also on expressions like this. They help you sound more natural and confident. Let us now reinforce everything we learned today. We started with the meaning of as sly as a fox, which describes a person who is very clever in a secret or strategic way. Then we explored the word sly, which means clever in a hidden or tricky manner. We also studied the word fox, which symbolizes intelligence and quick thinking. Together, these words create a powerful idiom used in everyday English communication. Before we end, think about this question. Can being sly always be a good thing, or does it depend on how and why it is used? Take a moment to reflect on this because language is not just about words. It is about meaning, intention, and context. Thank you for listening to this lesson. Keep practicing these words and try to use them in your daily conversations. The more you use them, the more natural your English will become.